Holy moly, my armpits are sweaty. That is disgusting. I just showered, brother. I just showered. How's it hanging, ladies and gents? I don't know if you can tell, but I really love Gravity Falls. A lot. Here's a picture of me in 2016 as Dipper Pines. Wow, I look just like him. And today is a very exciting day because we're going to be talking about the newest addition to the Gravity Falls franchise, the Book of Bill. We're gonna go over what the Book of Bill covers. We're going to discuss where Bill is at right now. Didn't he die at the end of season 2 of Gravity Falls? Didn't he get erased alongside Stan's mind? But wait, Stan's memory came back. So could Bill come back too? And 3, we'll be discussing if Bill is coming back and if Gravity Falls as a show is coming back, because if I'm being honest right now, all signs are pointing to yes. So there's been a lot going on with Gravity Falls the past month or so, leading up to the Book of Bill's release as well as after the Book of Bill's release. And if you're not up to speed on all that, let's catch you up real quick. Before the Book of Bill dropped, Alex Hirsch was teasing the release of this book on Twitter for quite some time. He kept releasing these kind of very eerie and creepy videos of the Pines family being burned. And so then, on July 23rd of 2024, the Book of Bill itself came out. And oh boy, this book is awesome. More on that later. When the Book of Bill came out, this website was discovered in the Book of Bill called thisisnotawebsite.com. It used to be this, oh, here's Sue, sorry dudes, come back later dudes, websites under maintenance, that kind of thing. And then eventually the website got fixed. And now it's this full-on Gravity Falls interactive, like ARG experience. It reminded me of like Pottermore.com, if you're ever into that nerdy crap. And on this website, there are cameos from Weird Al, who has a review on the back of the Book of Bill. There's a cameo from Charlie Day on the website, who also has a review on the back of the Book of Bill. And there's a cameo from Matt Pat, Game Theory, that guy. And he says, sorry, internet, you're on your own this time. What does that mean? Not only do we get this, this is not a website sort of interactive experience, but we've also gotten some Gravity Falls lo-fi. That's new. That's cool. As well as Alex Hirsch being very active on Twitter, teasing things. He's being very cryptic about it because he can be. It's Gravity Falls. He's Alex Hirsch. That's what he should do. That's how he gets his fandom hooked. That's how he keeps us hooked. He's good at it, man. He's good. And also, Jason Ritter, the voice of Dipper Pines in the show, he's been pretty active on Twitter as well, tweeting sort of Gravity Falls adjacent things. There's a video that's released on the official Disney Channel YouTube channel of Bill Cipher like being drawn by a cartoonist, and then Bill Cipher becomes sentient on the page and then tricks the cartoonist into swapping places with him. So now the cartoonist trapped on the page and Bill Cipher's in the real world. I don't know if that means Bill Cipher is like roaming the streets of Los Angeles right now. I really don't know what that means. So that's all very fascinating. But today we're going to be deciphering the Book of Bill. Now, what I mean by deciphering is we're just going to talk about the book and the contents of the book and kind of what it means for the overall story of Gravity Falls. I'm not going to go through and like decode all the different codes. There's plenty of people all over the internet and Reddit already doing that. But if you're just interested in kind of hearing about the Book of Bill, you found your guy. It's me. Hello. So, the Book of Bill opens with a note from Stanford Pines, and Stanford Pines is warning us to not read this book. This book is sentient. It is made of human flesh and blood because Bill Cipher made it, and apparently this book on a bookshelf infects other books. It's been sitting on my bookshelf for over 3 weeks now, and none of my books have been infected, so I'm a little disappointed. It doesn't translate into real life, but this book does go out of its way to really pull you as a reader kind of into the fiction of Gravity Falls. Pretty much the whole time Bill Cipher is speaking to us, the reader, and I gotta say, I've never been bullied by a book so much. This Bill Cipher guy, he's a real meanie, and this book is no exception. In fact, I think this book is kind of the peak of Bill Cipher's meanness as a villain, and it just really goes to show how sick and twisted this silly triangle guy is. Now, the book itself is very, very good. Alex Hirsch really knocked it out of the park with this one. It is just incredible. The quality is great, the jokes are great, the writing is great, and how it kind of fits into the overall Gravity Falls story is really, really interesting and honestly kind of essential. I feel like Bill Cipher, he was a good villain, but he wasn't a great villain. Bill Cipher only shows up in 7 episodes in the whole 40-episode show, which for a main villain in a TV show is kind of light, I feel. You get a lot of information about his powers and kind of what he can do, but there's never really any backstory to Bill Cipher. He's cool, he's scary, he's funny, he's a good villain by all means, but he's a little shallow in the show. He lacks substance, and this book right here gives him so much substance. I was frothing at the mouth with joy at the amount of substance that this book gives Bill Cipher, man. It makes him so much more of a villain, and I'm all for that. The way Alex Hirsch wrote this book, all the portions that Bill Cipher narrates anyways, he's not always narrating. There's quite a few other characters in Gravity Falls that have things to say in this book as well, but the parts that Bill Cipher is narrating, it just sounded like Bill Cipher in my head as I was reading it, which was great. It has a lot of like funny, satirical sort of revisionist history that kind of shows how Bill Cipher has made his impact on history throughout the years. For example, Bill Cipher is the reason that the pyramids exist. Bill Cipher is the reason there is a triangle on the dollar bill, and all sorts of of other things like that that the book just throws in that just kind of makes Bill Cipher feel like he's been a part of world history and he's been shaping humanity all along, because he's always been trying to find someone to build him a portal to bring him from his nightmare reality over into our world, because he wants to become real and have a physical form, and he wants to, you know, conquer the world, Weirdmageddon, all that stuff. Something very cool that this book did is it really fleshed out Bill Cipher's relationship with Ford, and just showed how intimately they were working together and how like toxic and terrible and manipulative their working relationship became as Bill Cipher just kept exploiting and exploiting Ford. And there's this whole section in the book called Journal 3, The Missing Pages. Because yeah, in this book, there's some portions that are like, oh, the pages are torn out. What am I missing? Now with the Book of Bill, we know what went down between Bill and Ford. And that's crazy stuff, man. It's very good information. Very fun. It took me probably like 6 hours to read through, and I was reading everything, man. The small text, looking at all the images, everything. And if you're a Gravity Falls fan, I think it's an essential read. It really is. It gives so much essential backstory to Bill Cipher as a villain, and it really just fleshes him out as a character and makes him way more interesting, so then you can go into watching seasons 1 and 2 of Gravity Falls and kind of just enjoy his character all that much more, because you're more familiar with his motives now. You know where he's coming from, you know his upbringing. It's good stuff. I just want to go through a little quick highlight reel of the book, just some moments that I took a picture of while I was reading. I'm like, let's talk about this. So here we go. At the beginning of the book, Bill makes it very clear that this book is made out of human flesh and blood. It's very gross. The whole spine of the book is apparently a stolen human spine. It's a small spine, but all right. I'll suspend my disbelief for you, Mr. Hirsch. The whole book is written from the angle of Bill wants you to help him come back. Bill has a plan to come back, and he needs you to help him bring him back from wherever he is to get revenge on the Pines, restart Weirdmageddon, turn it into Worldmageddon. But at the beginning of the book, there is a portion where Bill is talking about what direction he should take the book as far as branding goes. And here are some of his options. We've got a kind of New York Times bestseller spoof. It's the New York Times worst seller. Very funny. We got Goosebumps parody. You got my personal favorite, The Book of Bill, a New Testament of the Church of Ciphertology. And then, of course, there's just a kind of parody of all those weird, horny books for middle-aged moms. Tabitha Lustheart, The Love Triangle. There's 3 sides to every story. Not appropriate for any age. Couldn't agree more, man. That disclaimer should be on top of all those books. What the hell? Why are they just selling those like at the checkout aisle at Smith's? Here's a really cool, scary looking thing of Bill. This book had me chuckling the whole way through, man. It's very funny. It very much has that Gravity Falls sense of humor. And this book took that humor and made it bloody. Made it say damn and hell and bastard. It says that this travels to dimensions meant for older readers. And indeed, I would not let a 9-year-old read this. I'd let a 10-year-old read it though. So, question 2. Where is Bill right now? How can he be writing this book? Where's the Book of Bill coming from? Well, you find out at the very end of the book that he's in this place called the Theraprism, which is like this massive looking space crystal right here. So Bill's chilling in this sort of rehab prison afterlife place outside of time with his fellow dead demons, I suppose, and they have craft time at this prison. So he's using that craft time and using all his strange demon powers to create this book and hopefully use this book as leverage to bring himself back into the real world. I hope it works, and I think it might be working, because number 3 is Bill coming back. Is Gravity Falls coming back? Well, I would say Bill is back. He's definitely back. The Book of Bill is Bill coming back. This is Bill's return. And with the new website and with the Gravity Falls lo-fi and with Alex Hirsch and Jason Ritter and just all these celebrities are so involved in this project, it seems like something bigger is on the horizon. But again, this might be it. This might be the final destination that they're getting us all excited about. I hope not, but it might be. I don't know. At the very end of the Book of Bill, again, like he said at the beginning, Bill says, I'm fine. I'm ready to roll. Let's go Weirdmageddon to Worldmageddon. And he says at the end, someday someone will let me out. It shows a picture of that statue that materialized in the forest somewhere in Oregon when Gravity Falls ended. And then on the next page, the very last page of the book, the eye of the statue is glowing. I would not be surprised if we get a Gravity Falls season 3 and 4. I wouldn't. All the hype and the energy that this book and the things surrounding it have generated, it's truly special. I think it just goes to show how timeless Gravity Falls is and how there very, very much is room for of a lot more stories in this world, man. In this day and age of reboots and rehashes and live action remakes, a Gravity Falls season 3 and 4 doesn't seem that out of the picture to me. It really doesn't. But again, nothing is confirmed. all is rumor right now. If Gravity Falls came back as like a kind of edgier TV PG show, push the limits a little bit more, you know, show a little bit more gore, make it a little more real, tackle more mature themes. I mean, Gravity Falls with a rating of TV Y7 was capable of tackling crazy mature themes, man. It's impressive how dark it gets and how gross and scary it gets at such a low family-friendly rating. So imagine what they could do if they bumped that up just to PG. I think that would be sweet. But again, that's all merely speculation. I love Gravity Falls, and if we don't get seasons 3 and 4, that's a-okay too, because with seasons 3 and 4, there also comes the risk of the show ruining itself. Of all the franchises out there that we've watched resurrect and crash and burn, Gravity Falls is the last one I want to see do that. I did get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of this book, which is yellow instead of red, and comes with 16 additional pages. I thought it was worth it. I'm glad they did it. It didn't add any like super important material to the book, but it definitely added a few jokes and some good visuals and just more stuff to kind of make it a bit more of an experience. So if you can get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, by all means do. Those 16 extra pages are well worth like the $4 extra I think it is. But if you can't, don't sweat it. You're not missing out on much. So the Book of Bill, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. I will read it again if I have time. My semester's starting next week, so pray for me if you're religious, and if you're not religious, smash that like and subscribe button, baby. You will subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will listen to my music. You will watch all of my animations. You will share this video with all of your friends. I don't know if that's working. Tell me if that's working. Are you mind controlled yet? What are your thoughts on the Book of Bill? Did you like it? Have you read it? Do you like Gravity Falls? Do you have no idea what I'm talking about? Do you think I'm a moron? Let me know in the comments below. But remember, kids, no slurs. Stay true to yourself. Enjoy Gravity Falls, and have a great day. See y'all next time.